Any last words? A message for the people who will see this. He said, Deb is honestly a hoe for real.
Well, I'm glad someone had to say it.
I told my bitch I knew I needed buffer. I pulled inside the slam.
So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, I will be sending a quiz to my past lovers. I've actually already done part 1 of this video back in February, and a lot of you were like, you should do part 2. I made a form with like a bunch of questions, and the title of it is, if you're reading this, I had a crush on you. Hey! If you received a link to this Google form, it means that I had a crush on you at some point in my life. This is just for fun and entertainment purposes, so please answer each question honestly. I'm keeping your name anonymous for the video so you can get juicy. I'm very nervous for that last part. So the first question is, what is your name? Did you know that I liked you? If you knew that I liked you, how were you able to tell? Did you ever like me? Rate my physical attractiveness, rate my personality, first impression of me, distinct memory with me, and something you don't like about me / something that annoys you about me. How awkward is this? Lastly, any words / a message for the people who will see this. I made a nickname for every single boy, which is kind of like, it's kind of like an inside joke / like there's a story behind why I chose the nickname, so I will explain later, but the nicknames for this roster are Bumblebee, Sour Patch Kid, Smarty Pants, Golden Retriever, Munchkin, Pizza Plate, Mr. Funk, and Smiley. Ew! Oh, I hate this already. Okay, we're gonna start with... The reason why I named him Pizza Plate is because I met him on the first day of school. So halfway through, we get like a little lunch break, and I'm in line to get pizza. Pizza Plate is standing in front of me, and I reached for the pizza, and I accidentally drop it because I'm a little klutz or whatever, and he like, you're probably gonna call me extra for this, but he like scoffed, and he turned around, he's like, nice one. And I was like, wow, what do you
YA book?
No, but it was so Wattpad. No, facts.
She wore her flag.
No, stop. We actually had grade 9 English together. I was looking forward to that class. Next week, he literally switches out of it, and I never see him again. That's how it was. He was like my first grade 9 day, like first crush in high school ever. What is your name? This is Pizza Plate. Did you know that I liked you? He said, kinda. Really? Oh, was I that obvious?
Dubs, come on. I know you're staring at him.
If you knew that I liked you, how were you able to tell? He said, you aren't very secretive with your body language, to be frank.
Whoa! Dude, what did you do?
Wait, no, I didn't do anything.
No, but what's your body language, miss?
Pizza Plate? How did you know?
No, but what were you doing?
Let's play a little game just between you and her.
Did you ever like me? He said yes. Rate my physical attractiveness. He said other and said you're gorgeous. Pizza Plate. Rate my personality. He gave me an 8. Thank you. First impression of me. You have a gravitational force through your unique quirks and bring light to any room you step into.
Whoa!
Your
Your
smile and laugh are eccentrically contagious and can heal a rough day.
This for him? What author wrote this for him?
Did your sister write this? Because this is too perfect.
Not him. Okay.
Why?
We were both
Ugh, okay, I need to stop. I told myself when I was filming this, I don't want to like smile and laugh too much, because last video, I'm like giggling every single like 5 seconds. I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, please. So this time, let's keep it serious. Distinct memory with me. Although we don't have many personal memories together, I find myself in thanks of having met you. Yeah, we didn't really have any classes after grade 9, or I guess that one
Did you ever really
half
see him
class.
again?
I never saw you at school. Like, literally, where were you? It was every blue moon, and I honestly, like, I feel like I was robbed. High school was a robbery because I'm like, I never got to see Pizza Plate after like the first day of school. But something you don't like about me / something that annoys you about me. He said, honestly, this has never crossed my mind. I'm hard to annoy. How awkward was this? He said, not awkward at all. And any last words? He said, stay hydrated. I definitely need to. I'm a little parched from this. I'm definitely gonna screenshot this paragraph and put it as my lock screen every time I have a breakdown. So thank you, Pizza Plate. I really wish younger me or grade 9 me saw this or read this, because
your body language to do something else. You know?
Oh, my body language would have been busted. But I think I got into Wattpad around like 11 or 12, so like going in high school, 13, 14, still reading them. I'm telling you, it was literally out of a movie. I dropped the pizza. He probably doesn't even remember this. This is embarrassing, but I dropped the pizza. He looked back and he's like, nice one. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's cute, he's sarcastic, he's funny. Literally fell in love. And then you switched out of English class, so I'm still mad at you for that, but this was very nice. Thank you. I said, what is your name? And this man goes, shh. I can't And you! Did you know that I liked you? He said yes! This is why I didn't want to do this batch of boys! Ugh. If you knew that I liked you, how are we able to tell? He said, your energy around me. What does that mean?
You're getting exposed tonight.
I hate this! No,
I'm stealthy. You would never know. You're out here. Can I get to the
No!
Sweet, yeah. Show me.
Did you ever like me?
That's what.
Yes!
There you go.
Smiley!
I know who this is.
When did you like me?
We would discuss. We would have debate. She's like, no, Bex, no. And I'm like, yes, he does.
I don't think you liked me.
No, he did.
No, what did you like?
Come on, now.
Rate my physical attractiveness. He says, you're sexy.
Period.
Now, what about that the pussy? I'm kidding. Thank you. Rate my personality. He gave me an 8. First impression of me, he says, you're cool to talk to. Thank you very much. Distinct memory with me. You drunk as...
Oh.
Wow. Let's not even get into that. The legal age of drinking in Canada is 19. And that's definitely the night that it happened.
That's all you gotta say.
Something you didn't like about me / something that annoys you at me. He said, you're high energy at times. How awkward was this? He says, he said, don't ever make me do this again or I will break you.
Why are you laughing?
Sorry, it's
Why
just so funny. Break me? No, Smiley. Let's get into it. Any last words? A message for the people who will see this. He said, Deb is honestly a hoe for real.
Well, I'm glad someone had to say it.
This batch of crushes, they're sassy and shady.
Because they know the truth.
You didn't hear from
Because
me.
you're not filtering this stuff. I'm happy I'm here because I'm seeing you for who you are. A hoe.
For context, Bumblebee is a crush from high school, and I named him Bumblebee because we went out together, which is weird, me going out with a male, but we went to the movies and we saw Bumblebee because that's when it had came out. It was in December.
Nice.
We went to the movies and we go to buy the tickets. There's no show times. The tickets are sold out and the next show time was an hour later. So I'm standing in front of him and I'm like, so we got an hour to kill. What are we gonna do? The way the Cineplexes are, like, I think any movie theater is like this. You can't really do anything. Like, there's obviously arcade and games, but you can't do anything until you actually enter the Cineplex or pay for a ticket. So we were kind of like at the front and I was like, it's literally dark outside. I have no car. We're both kind of like stranded in front of the movies.
Both children.
And we're both like literally, I think I was 16 at the time, but we walked to a park and we sat and just chatted for like an hour and the time went by so fast. Like, it was just so like, ugh. I was like, wait, I'm literally alone with this tall random man. Not random, but like, I'm literally alone in the park. It is like dark outside and I'm sitting, you know? It was just like, wow. And then I remember being like, I was so comfortable around him. Like, we talked for a little bit and then it kind of just fell off. So I don't know what that was about, but he was cute, so hey. Anyway, so what is your name? Bumblebee. Did you know that I liked you? He said yes. If you knew that I liked you, how are we able to tell? He said, you were always skipping class with me to walk around and talk.
You're back!
Can you shut up? Oh, I'm gonna deal with you. This girl's laughing in my face saying, you're back! You're back!
No, I'm skipping class and you're like, I'll come with you. Yeah,
It wasn't like that.
So what was it like then?
I wasn't literally,
Do that again?
I wasn't
No,
skipping class. Like, you were always skipping class with me to walk around and talk.
Right.
We talked a lot at school and outside of school during that time. And we went out once to the movies together. I think that was like a talking stage. I don't know what a talking stage is, but like, we were like really close. Like, I remember FaceTiming him a lot and like walking around school and skipping class. Ugh. Oh my gosh.
But no, what I love about you is when you like someone hard. You go for it.
I do.
You go for the whole couple.
I love hard.
No, seriously. I would be like, no. Let's get in
know.
class with you. You stupid.
I hate it. Did you ever like me? He said yes. Yay!
And that's what matters.
Okay.
Imagine if he's like, no.
If you said no, I would have actually had to skin you alive. So thank you for saying yes.
You better like
That was a joke. Rate my physical attractiveness. He said, he said, give me that the pussy. Thank you, by the way. I'm like reacting before I thank you. I'm grateful. This is very kind, but I'm also very high energy and I react a lot. So don't think I'm being like ungrateful and trying to avoid the topic. Rate my personality. He gave me an 8. That's like my 3rd 8 in a row. Look at me averaging at 80% of personality. First impression of me, he said, it was a long time ago, but I always thought you were attractive and nice to talk to. A distinct memory with me, saying hi to you almost every morning when we were close, skipping class to hang out and talk to you, complimenting your hairstyles and going to the park, walking around the neighborhood, waiting for our movie to start because we showed up late and had to wait for the next show.
That's cute.
Oh,
Okay.
Bumblebee, like
Continue.
hanging out with me. How do you remember? I thought I wasn't even gonna remember that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna sound like crazy, like talking about this Bumblebee movie. He's gonna be like, I don't remember that.
You know what's so funny? If we do a rewind, it'd be like, I don't want to smile at all in this video. What are you doing right now? Next person, please.
I'm sat. Something you don't like about me / something that annoys about me. He said how you never took anything serious and was super on and off about me. Made a joke about almost everything. Sometimes felt like your friends had influence on how you treated me.
Oh my gosh.
How awkward was this? He said, not my favorite. Any last words / a message for the people who will see this? He says, hope you're doing well and take care. Thank you, Bumblebee.
You read you.
He did. He's smart. I do joke a lot, and that did annoy him. I remember, like, I would say some things and he'd be like, ugh, be serious. I'm like, ah, haha, joke, joke, joke. It's my defense mechanism. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm like rereading this.
Honesty is the best policy. You know what you gotta work on next time. And this is why I like these boys, because they're honest.
They're dragging me. I'm being dragged by these boys.
As they should.
And guess what? He's a year younger than me.
Wow.
That's the not the worst part, but like he was so mature. I hope you're doing well too. Thank you for filling out the form. Well, I'm low-key missing Bumblebee.
I wouldn't say you're missing him. I think it's one of those where you are realizing and looking back. You know, you're older now, so you can look at it through a different perspective. You could have been different. Like, who calls people out on stuff like this, you know?
That's what I liked about him though. He really called me out. Ugh.
You get red.
Now I'm having things to work on. So Mr. Funk he was a work crush, and I named him Mr. Funk because he always wore funky socks. He was very cute, and I remember I had him on Snapchat, and at the time he would always post like the music he's into, and he was like Young Thug, Gunna. I remember one time he posted a story, or he posted on his story, and it was like a Gunna song. 20 minutes later, I learned the lyrics and I posted on my story, lip syncing to it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna get his attention. Did it get his attention? Girl, no. Also, while I was working with him, he literally was like, you know, you remind me so much of my little sister. I was like, I was sister zone. And the worst part was, like, he was older than me, so I remember, like, internally I wanted to try and like act mature and act cooler. So that was that crush. Did you know that I liked you? He said, it was obvious.
Is that how he sister zoned you? He knew you was like,
I didn't think it was that obvious.
when you like someone, you like someone. It's okay.
If you knew that I liked you, how were you able to tell? He said, annoying me every time you saw me, and people told me after you told them.
Snakes! What
What an upset. I did annoy you a lot, but that's kind of like my thing. I think I'm just an annoying person.
Hey.
Did you ever like me? He said, kinda. Wait, really?
Not the whole mood changing.
I thought he was gonna say no. I didn't really think he'd like me, but rate my physical attractiveness, he said cute. Rate my personality, he gave me an 8. First impression of me, he said annoying as all caps. Distinct memory with me, he said whack ass Soulja Boy remix. So when we were closing, I would always be like, oh, can I be on Aux? Like, I got the best track for y'all. Like, and I would play this Soulja Boy remix every single time. And the volume in the store, like, you can blast it in there. So I would turn it all the way up and I'd be like, guys, like, this track, it goes so hard. Like, listen to this. And the song that I would play would be this. So yeah, that definitely got annoying, and it never got old for me. I did it like every single shift, and I'm like, man, this never gets old. This is hilarious. Something you don't like about me / something that annoys you about me. He says, you swear you're funny. ... How awkward was this? He said, I don't care. Any last words / the message for the people who will see this? He said, free Thug and Gunna. Like, this man was the biggest Gunna stan ever. Y'all know my music taste. I've done so many playlist videos on my channel, so you know the type of music I listen to. When I tell you, when I was into that man, it was a 360. I was like, if it's not Thug, and if it's not Gunna, I don't want to hear it. I was blasting that music like there was no tomorrow. And it has some good songs. Like, I'm not trying to diss, but like, I literally changed my entire aesthetic to try and fit this man. The whole time he said, you're annoying, you remember my sister, and stop playing that Soulja Boy remix. The next boy boy on our roster is Smarty Pants. As you can tell by the name or his name, Smarty Pants is very smart. I had math class with him, and y'all know me and math, we ops. Well, not ops, but like getting good grades. It was never like super hard, but it was always like math. It really just ate me alive. I'm like, why is this so hard? But he was like always, you know, help me out. He would explain the problem to me and I'm just like, yes, y equals mx plus me. I mean b. Same thing, potato. What is your name? This is Smarty Pants. Did you know that I liked you? He said, kinda. If you knew that I liked you, how were you able to tell? I didn't know, but like we played too much. So I was like, there may be a slight possibility. Oh, yeah, we did. Did you ever like me? I don't know if, me personally, I thought he liked me for a bit, but then he was like nice to everybody. So I'm like,
so interesting.
He definitely is just like, I literally remember like when I started liking him, I was like, let me observe how he is around other people, because I'm like, is it just me or is it everybody? And he was like an overall friendly person. So I'm like, everybody gets along with him. So I'm like, Deb, you're not special. Please be sad. Rate my physical attractiveness. He said, you're sexy. Rate my personality. He gave me an 8. First impression of me, he said, I thought you were hilarious and pretty. Loved the box braids. Okay, next one. I need to stop laughing. I hate this.
No, it's not. It's funny.
Why am I laughing?
It's like your plan has worked. You cast a spell.
Distinct memory with me, he says, sitting together in math. I thoroughly enjoyed watching you struggle in that course. Karma for bullying me in grade 4. I didn't bully you. Everybody thinks I bullied them when I was younger.
Oh, you were Deb. So let's call it is.
Okay.
I had siblings come to me.
Really?
And be like, got your sister?
Listen, grade 4 me was a different person. I'm not her anymore. And then helping you study after and spare because I felt bad for you. But also because you're cool to hang out with.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
That's cute. Thank you for feeling bad for me. He did actually want to help. Like, it was actually like he genuinely wanted me to understand the math. And I'm like, I'm trying to understand, but you're also cute. And I also romanticize everything. So I'm like, I'm literally not understanding anything you're telling me right now. Something that you don't like about me, he says, bully me too much. Almost made me change my first name.
Because what did you do?
His name is Smarty Pants. I would throw in like an E at the end, and he did not like that at all. So obviously, especially in grade 4, if I had to question you too, I'm just gonna bully you, I'm sorry. So obviously I kept calling him that and he didn't like it. And he brought it up to me a few times and I'm like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna gaslight you. No, literally, every time he brings it up, I will gaslight, girl keep, and gate boss. Cause girl, I never bullied you. How awkward was this? He says not awkward at all. Any last words? Word to jaw, the One Piece is real. Like and subscribe. That's funny. Bro, guys, oh my gosh.
I remember you saying this.
I could probably write a 20-page APA formatted essay, persuasive essay even, on why he is husband material. Like he is such a gentleman. He's so kind. He's so genuine. I don't know if he had cameras on me, but every single time I was like feeling rough or going through it at school, he would always like check in on me or ask me how I'm doing. I don't know. I literally was like, I want to marry you, and I really hope that you're single when I'm 30 and you're 30. We can, like, you know, be 30 and flirty together. So what is your name? This is Golden Retriever. Did you know that I liked you? He said kinda.
Really?
I don't really know how he would know.
That I don't know.
I hope it's not something embarrassing. Did I do something? If you knew that I liked you, how were you able to tell? He said, kinda thought so. You always had a happy, positive vibe around me, but that's how you've been since day one. So it only crossed my mind a couple of times, but never really stood out. Did you ever like me? He said, other. And he said, I mean, it's Deb. Who didn't? Golden Retriever, I know you lying. Rate my physical attractiveness. He says, you're cute. Thank you very much.
Okay, respectful.
Rate my personality. He says, he gave me a 9. Okay, thank you.
She broke the 8.
My first 9.
Good job.
You know how I
I
get.
thought she gonna stay there. I thought the 8's gonna become an infinity.
No, I thought I was bound to the shackles of personality of 8.
I was about to lie down and just say, I'll be like this forever.
First impression of me, he says, fun and very extroverted. I'm just gonna give up on this mysterious act because it's not working. Distinct memory with me, he says, about 5 people and camping gear on 1 4-wheeler.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a memory. I'm not gonna get into it.
I wanna know.
Mind your business.
Oh, wow. What dweeb. I wanna know.
Something you don't like about me / something that annoys you about me, he says, how fast you were back then when we played Manhunt. Oh my gosh, that's funny. How awkward was this? He says, I don't care. Any last words? He says, you should subscribe if you haven't already.
Look at him supporting you.
See? One thing about him is he don't eat up. And did.
And do.
So in grade 5, we dated.
Who was this munchkin?
Now, the thing is, like, you date for like 2 hours in grade 5 and then it's like, okay, I'm breaking up with you, we're done. He left school and then he came back in high school and I liked him for like a little bit, but whenever there was a new kid at our school, it was like fresh meat. Like, people were going feral. That's why I'm like, let me just sit back because I'm definitely not gonna be the one. So what is your name? This is Munchkin. Did you know that I liked you? He said no. If you knew that I liked you, how are you able to tell? He didn't say anything since he didn't know. Did you ever like me? He said, when I first came to our high school, I had a crush on you. We hadn't seen each other in a few years and you were /are really pretty. Rate my physical attractiveness. He says, you're sexy. Rate my personality. He gave me an 8. I'm back on the 8 curse, but that's okay. First impression of me, he says, we were really young when we first met. Can't really remember. I do remember dating in grade 5. My first hug.
At least you remember.
At least you remembered. I remember too. It was like the shortest time ever, but it was cute. My first and last relationship. Distinct memory with me. He says, I remember I had a spare and I was sitting in the cafeteria. I was having a rough day and you came into the cafeteria with a group of people and started doing your daily vlogs, asking me all these questions. Long story short, you flipped my mood and made my day. Not many people can do that, so that was something. So that was saying something. Still mad I never got into the vid. Something you don't like about me / something that annoys you about me. He says, we never got as close as we were in elementary school when I came back. I felt you never really cared to get close again. That being said, I didn't put much effort in either.
That's so deep.
You came back though and everybody was like obsessed with you. So it was like, I didn't really want to interfere. And like, I would have wanted, I'm not trying to justify it, but it's just, okay, you know what? I guess he's right. How awkward was this? He says, I don't care. And any last words? He says, miss you guys, be back soon. Come visit if you can. Congrats on a milli and people watching, subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Munchkin. That was very kind, very sweet. No, when he came back to the school though, we had each other on social media, we interact, but it was never really anything like special. So I was like, well, let me not overstep. When I was in high school, I joined a track team. I remember him and I used to laugh at like everything. He was so funny and I would look forward to going to track practice just because he's there. What is your name? This is Sour Patch Kid. Did you know that I liked you? He said, kinda. If you knew that I liked you, how are you able to tell? You called me and said you had a dream about me.
Oh.
When did I do
Wow.
that? I talk too much.
No.
This is making me like hate my person. Anyways, you called me and said you had a dream about me. Plus, when we talk, it's always great energy. We have a lot of banter.
See?
And there's always that will they, won't they thing going on. He's just so fun to, like, he's so funny. And we always go back and forth and he was just so quick with it. So I'm like, okay, we match him. Did you ever like me? He said yes. I don't know if I believe that, but sure. Rate my physical attractiveness. He said, give me that the pussy. Let's see if the personality rating is gonna match the energy because I've been getting these 8s. I'm gonna guess he's gonna give me an 8. He gave me a 10.
Wow.
First impression of me, he said, pressure. Funny girl with energy, sarcasm, an adorable smile, and she's a scissor stand. What could go wrong? LOL. Distinct memory with me. He said, I have 2. The first is the Snapchat videos and texts we would send before the pandemic. You'd ask me to put you on animes, and I recommended you my favorite ones at the time. You'd watch them and snap back crying, telling me how good they were and how you wanted more. You are someone I hold in high regard, so it felt good seeing you enjoy something that I messed with. The second was the FT call we had after you received the birthday gift I sent you. You got all the hidden messages and we had a great combo. Good times.
How old were you when you got this birthday gift?
He sent me a birthday letter. It was like a handwritten in the mail, arrived on my birthday letter. And I remember a week before that, he asked me like, what's your address? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. But I ended up telling anyway. But yeah, then on my birthday, I get a letter in the mail and it was like, to Deborah. And he wrote like a whole birthday letter for me. And I was like, wee! And on top of that, in the letter, there was like a secret message where like certain letters were capitalized. And I forget what the word spelled, but it was something cute. In my room, I have like my drawer with my special little items. And that letter is in there. That's definitely a distinct memory for me too. Because after I saw that letter, I literally called him. I'm like, there is no way you sent me a letter. Like, ugh. Something you don't like about me, he says, we didn't get to go to Nebs. I don't know when we were supposed to go to Nebs or why it flopped, but it just never happened. How awkward was this? He says, not awkward at all. Any last words? He says, now that all the subscribers are here, how was my form? I think it was good. I think this was my favorite. I got a 10 for the first time. And I'm not annoying with high energy. It's good. I hope we all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed some of it. Other parts, I'm trying not to take it personally. Also, on my last video, a lot of people were asking me how I had the confidence to like send crushes out to yes, I love English. A lot of people were asking me how I had the confidence to send quizzes out to all my crushes, because a lot of people were saying how they want to do it too, but they've always been nervous to do it. I just want to say that I was a little nervous too going into it, but the way I see it is worst case scenario they don't answer, or worst case scenario they don't like you back. But either way, I don't see it as a failure, or I don't see it as like failing or flopping. Everything is like a learning experience. In the last video, I sent a quiz out to a few other people and they just like left me on red and like unfollowed me. At first I was kind of like, oh, it's embarrassing, but I'm like, it's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed, and it's not a failure, it's just a learning experience. I don't know, when things like that happen, I try not to take it personally, you know, you just move forward. So if you're thinking about sending a quiz to somebody or telling somebody you like them, I say just go for it. Old keys won't open new doors. Carve that new key, try and open a new door. If it opens, that's great. If it doesn't open, we move on. Maybe I'm delusional, or maybe I'm bold, or maybe I'm a mix of both. I think being bold helps build confidence. So if you have something that you really want to do, but you're scared to do it, taking that next step will help build that confidence, will help get you closer. So I honestly, like, it's probably awful advice, but like, just go for it and see where you land. And wherever you land, you'll just keep growing from there. If you're my crush and you're watching this, thank you for filling it out. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making this video what it is, or what it was. It was definitely something. Love you guys, and I'm sorry for the ones that I bullied. I will see you in my next video.